I've always believed people pick their seats on purpose. You know, the ones that sit at the door are ready to leave, the ones that are in the back don't want to be noticed, and while the ones by the window, they're looking for something. Hope, maybe, even if they don't realize it yet. Hey, if you're new here, welcome. You found a little virtual roadside diner of stories. So, as always, if you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up for me, it helps. If the road brings you back, there's always some coffee and always room at the table. So, there's this little place just outside of Holbrook. It's a diner with, cracked leather booths and coffee that never pretends to be more than it really is. Now, I stopped in for breakfast one morning. 2 booths over was a man sitting alone by the window. No phone, no paper, just his chipped mug of coffee in his hands, and he had this 1,000-yard stare aimed at the street. Now, the waitress had a name tag that said Marlene. She leaned over and said, "You gonna order anything today, Frank?" Without even looking at her, he answered, "Nah. I just like to watch the road. Makes me feel like I'm still a part of it." He wasn't sad. He wasn't happy. He was something in between, something you can't really name unless you've been there. I paid for his coffee on the way out. I didn't say a word. I always remember sometimes presence is the only language worth speaking. Now, years back, I headed up towards Flagstaff, late afternoon. It was a kind of ride where you watch the sun chase itself across the desert. Now, when I stopped, I sat at a bench next to an older woman wearing a cardigan with the elbow patches. Remember those? She had a small bag of licorice and a quiet air about her. She offered me a piece. I accepted. Then she said, "I take this bus ride every Tuesday. Not because I have to, just to remember I still can." To be honest with you, I did stretch my legs, and when I sat, I had no idea the bench I was sitting on was an actual bus stop for Greyhound. Sometimes just watching the land move past reminds me I'm still here. You know what I mean? I nodded. I did understand. She told me her husband used to drive everywhere. When he passed, she stopped going places for a while. Then one day, she got on the bus, not to arrive somewhere, just to remind herself the road still welcomed her. That was the whole reason. Now, not long ago, Mary was in the hospital. She was sleeping. I made my way out to the waiting area. You know, one of those long hallway kinds where the vending machines actually hum louder than the people do. When I passed the lobby, I noticed a young woman sitting at the front window. All she had was a backpack at her feet, elbows on her knees, and she was just staring out the window. Now, she didn't look injured, didn't look like she wanted to be spoken to either. I picked up on that. But I've also learned to trust my nudges. So I walked over, I sat down on the chair across from her, didn't say anything at first, and then I asked her, "Are you okay?" She didn't look at me, she just kept staring at the parking lot. I figured maybe she didn't want to talk. I was just about to get up and she said, "I just needed to see the sky. Everything in here feels heavy." That was it, no explanation, no follow-up. But something about sitting by the window made it bearable. Maybe even a little bit holy. In my closing reflection, sometimes we sit by the window because we want to escape. Sometimes because we want to return. But often, we sit there just to remember the light still gets in. A window isn't just a view, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to breathe, to watch, to hope, and even if quietly. If that's where you find yourself today, my friend, by the window, waiting for something you can't quite name, it's okay. You're still here, and sometimes that is the bravest thing you can be. Remember to be kind to fellow travelers the next time you see someone sitting by the window, in a diner, on a bus, or in a waiting room. Give them a nod. Give them a smile. Let them know that they're seen, because sometimes we sit near the light just to remember we're not alone. And every now and then, a stranger's kindness reminds us we still belong to the world. Remember, fuel, coffee, and kindness will keep this show going. If you'd like to give a little something, the hat's always open at Venmo. You'll find me at Faith and Good Courage. 4 words stuck together, faith and good courage. No strings attached, just a big thank you. I'll see you next week. Until then, travel well, my friends. Have faith and good courage.